rejuvenation and expansion of the Land Rover range continues apace with one of its most important models, the all-new Discovery. This fifth-generation Discovery has to replace the much-loved, if flawed, previous model but also compete against many capable rival offerings with 7 seats in the large SUV class. It will undoubtedly find itself on the same shopping lists as other upscale off-roaders, such as the Audi Q7, BMW X5 and Mercedes-Benz GLE, which can't hope to keep up with the Land Rover off-road. But in terms of on-road appeal, they were ahead of the old Discovery, which is the main reason why Land Rover has taken pretty much all of what came before, and given it a comprehensive reboot. It now feels much more like a luxury vehicle but without sacrificing practicality. Refreshingly, the more modestly priced versions are arguably the best in the range. The SD4 engine is the pick of the bunch, while both money and weight can be saved by choosing the manual seat folding mechanism. It is the most practical car in the class, and by virtue of this and its even stronger image it will be first choice for many buyers. Improved efficiency, more powerful engines. As with the latest generation Range Rover and Range Rover Sport models, the new Discovery moves to a more sophisticated aluminium body and chassis to help reduce weight and improve efficiency. Depending on a model, the weight saving is as much as 450 kilograms, although it remains a large and relatively heavy model at 2.1 tons even in its lightest form. It's moved up market in terms of pricing. See specifications to see how much. But a top-off-the-range 2.08 chassis luxury weighed in at £62,995 at launch. The UK range starts with the twin-turbo 4-cylinder British-made and designed Ingenium engine, developing 240 horsepower at 4,000 revolutions per minute. Land Rover claims that even with this smaller engine, the Discovery can cover the 062 miles per hour run in 8.0 seconds. Likely to sell less, but be better to drive, will be the turbocharged 3.0-litre V6 turbo diesel 260 horsepower and the impressive supercharged 3.0-litre V6 petrol, developing 340 horsepower. All the four-wheel drive hardware, its permanent four-wheel drive system drives through an 8-speed automatic gearbox, with the now ubiquitous Jaguar Land Rover cylindrical selector. To ensure it's as impressive off-road as its predecessors, it comes with a low-ratio transfer case for the ultimate in mud-blaying ability. In addition, the Discovery receives all of Land Rover's latest terrain response systems. There is a selection of off-road driving modes, which as well as making the most of its four-wheel drive system, uses clever electronics to keep it from spinning its wheels when the going gets tough. Land Rover says the Discovery is the most capable off-roader it has ever made. It has a 900mm wading figure, and its maximum ground clearance is 283mm. Not only that, but it has half a meter of axle articulation, which means it can deal with huge potholes and obstacles that get in the way of one side. That smart new suit, so, despite its sophisticated new looks, which ape those of the smaller Discovery Sport, it's hugely capable off-road. The smoother look will take some getting used to for older Discovery owners, though. Some details such as the stepped side windows and lopsided tailgate are a brave attempt to link it with the past. This is clearly a car that takes its maker up market to fight the Germans head. All engine versions are fitted with the 8-speed automatic transmission used elsewhere on Land Rover products, and it is well suited to the car's nature. The entry-level SD4 diesel model delivers performance that in most circumstances is perfectly adequate. It is relatively refined for a 4-cylinder diesel and acceleration is on a par for the class if far from quick. But again, this is within the expectation of this car. Refinement is good rather than exceptional, but the Ingenium 4-cylinder diesel engine is quieter than in other Jaguar and Land Rover vehicles. The V6 diesel option brings additional torque -600 Nm compared with 500 Nm, but only an additional 18 horsepower. Acceleration to 62 miles per hour is cut by 0.3 seconds as a result, but unless you plan to tow on a regular basis the additional cost is not worthwhile, with the official fuel consumption figure dropping below 40 miles per gallon. The V6 petrol option shared with the Jaguar F-Pace feels less lively because of the Discovery's size and weight, and turning down the pleasing exhaust note into a far from pleasant whine when driven hard. On-air suspension standard on all cars in the UK, and with the V6 up front, the Discovery steers with an assured sharpness, although you're aware of all the mass that the suspension is having to deal with. The comfort bias is entirely appropriate for a car that is likely to be used for carrying people and their luggage instead of storming down Broads. However, if you should try and hurry it along, it would do so, if a little reluctantly. It seems obvious to say it, but Discovery is less engaging and capable than the Range Rover Sport, but less yacht-like than the Range Rover, which is what you'd expect given the Discovery's position in Land Rover's lineup. Pay your money and take your choice. The interesting aspect of the Discovery's design is that it's been made slightly larger on the outside, and more space has been freed up inside, thanks to the additional length between the front and rear wheels, as well as more room for the rearmost pair of rows. There's additional benefit to the driver, too. Up front, there is plenty of space from the lofty seating position, although the seats are relatively low set in relation to the side windows to increase headroom. Once comfortable, head and legroom is comfortable for those up to 6 feet in height at least. The driver and family isn't short of space, and Land Rover claims there's 45 litres of storage room alone up front. This includes a deep central console and a hidden area behind the ventilation controls. Compared with earlier Discoveries, this one's infotainment and media system is simple to use and much more responsive than before. Material quality is about on a par for what you'd expect for the money. There's plenty of leather and the cabin plastics feel decent, and although an Audi Q7 feels more tightly built with fractionally better plastics, the Discovery's layout is easier on the eye. The best quality materials are kept higher up the doors, good for those who are likely to get in and out with muddy boots. Land Rover 2017 Discovery main interior. Land Rover 2017 Discovery interior detail view. All images of the Land Rover Discovery SUV comfort 4.6 out of 5. 4.6 as expected. The Discovery is a supremely comfortable car. It switches to a more sophisticated suspension setup shared with the Range Rover, which means double wishbones at the front and a multi-link axle at the rear. The upshot is that on all roads, ride quality is superb. Riding on air suspension, it is clearly tuned for ride comfort over handling, even if it also gains a quicker acting steering rack taken from the Range Rover Sport. Most road disturbances are dealt with easily, with only smaller, sharper bumps registering any discomfort in the cabin. Noise levels are good, if not the best in class, while seat comfort is excellent. The Discovery is easy to place on the road and feels stable, even dealing with more enthusiastic driving and relative comfort.